What if the next Resident Evil doesn't just resurrect monsters or a long dead city? What if it resurrects characters you thought were gone for good? We're talking allies left behind, villains with unfinished business, bloodlines that should have ended, but didn't. And if Capcom's latest trailer is anything to go by, someone big is coming back. You're not crazy for wondering, and no, you're definitely not alone. Well, the clues? Well, maybe they've been right there in front of us the whole time. Welcome back to the world of survival horror. If REquiem isn't just another chapter and Capcom are trying to tie up loose ends, then the question is, who's coming back to finish what they started? I pieced together a few names based on hidden lore drops, Capcom's habit of teasing comebacks years in advance, oh yeah, and some good old-fashioned speculation. Alright, it's all speculation. I mean, come on, it sounds credible, right? Some of these picks, you'll see them coming, and others, maybe they've been lurking in the background this whole time. So let's start with a familiar face, the series left behind, but never truly forgot. Rebecca Chambers isn't just a survivor, she is the last surviving original STARS Bravo member. She was there when it all began, the mansion, Marcus, the T-Virus, and if Capcom is circling back to Raccoon City in any form, there's only one character with both the medical expertise and the personal connection to make that trip feel earned. Rebecca disappeared from the mainline games, but in Resident Evil Vendetta and again in Death Island, we saw her quietly working behind the scenes, researching viral strains, synthesizing cures, and helping the BSA clean up the mess left behind by people like Wesker.
Hold on a sec. Why? We control the drones now, so why don't we use them?
And in them films, she wasn't just some scared rookie, she was calm, focused, and in control. So why the return to Raccoon City now? Well, because the past is mutating. If the plot of Requiem involves bioweapons resurfacing, if we're returning to a virus-based infection, which I hope we are, then the legacy is twisting into something worse. And Rebecca might be the only person alive who understands the original blueprint. The medical data, the infected blood samples, the buried research the BSA still hasn't explained. She's not coming back to fight, she'll be coming back to clean up the last pieces of the nightmare she thought was dead and buried ages ago. And if Chris is involved, after everything he's seen, he's going to want someone on his team that he can trust. Not just a scientist, but someone who lived it.
The medical supplies here are from Umbrella.
Umbrella?
Don't you know? They're only the biggest taxpayers around here. They make most of these medicines right here. Homegrown in Raccoon City.
Nemesis had a theory on this one. Jake Muller was built for a sequel. He's Wesker's son. Virus resistant, combat trained, but after Resident Evil 6, silence. Nothing. And you know what that tells me? Well, not much really. He's just gone. He's waiting for a sequel, I should imagine. Jake is one of the most genetically valuable characters in the entire franchise. His bloodline contains a natural resistance to the C virus, something corporations, governments, or black market bioweapon dealers would kill for.
Your blood.
What are you, the Red Cross or something?
No, listen, those things that attacked us, they were all exposed to a new virus called the C virus. The same strain that you just took a dose of. It didn't affect you because you've got the antibodies.
If there's another outbreak or if there's a new virus, Jake becomes the most dangerous person alive. Not because of who he is, but because of what he's made of. Alright, bear with me on this one. What if Alessa Ashford, yes, the reporter from Outbreak, got deeper into Umbrella than anyone realised? Maybe she wasn't just reporting on the virus. Maybe she got too close. Maybe she got too involved with a certain Mr. Wesker. Alessa uncovers a lead tied to the Project Wesker. She gets close to Albert, maybe a little too close.
Oh, I have my eyes set on something much bigger.
And due to their shared history of Raccoon City, and next thing you know, Jake is born and taken from her.
You never thought Daryl's dad was just a deadbeat who skipped out on us. No, he was actually a freaking nut job who almost destroyed the world.
Hidden, and then years later, Grace is born. No father is ever mentioned. And now fast forward to Requiem, Jake is out there. He's older, angry, and unaware of her sister. Grace, investigating Umbrella's legacy, might even be carrying her mother's old files. That would make Grace and Jake half-siblings. Two children of Umbrella's sins, each chasing the truth from opposite sides. Jake the survivor who hates what he is, and Grace the seeker who wants to know where she came from. The hooded figure, maybe they want Grace's blood, not just for research, but because they know what she is. This would then beautifully tie into the eventual Resident Evil 5 remake whenever that finally drops.
Interesting.
Channel member Outscan8372 floated this theory, and I think it's a banger. George Hamilton isn't just some random civvy. He was a trained surgeon working in the middle of the outbreak, treating patients, watching them turn, barely surviving with his life, and maybe his sanity intact. And with Grace Ashcroft appearing in REquiem trailer, we know the Outbreak timeline exists in some form in the remakes. So, what if this is the recreation of Outbreak? And George is back. However, in his bad ending in the original game, George stays behind. He's still infected, yet he helped create Daylight, the cure for the T-virus, and being a doctor, he would know a thing or two about taking blood samples. Maybe he's still trying to cure himself.
My freedom would come at too high a price. I'm still infected, and so I remain. I'm feeling strange.
Me too.
It will all be over soon. There is no ending to this story. Now is the beginning. And the moment I finally understand it all, my memory is vanquished.
His alternate costume is also a raincoat, you know, like the one that the hooded killer is kind of wearing. Makes you think, doesn't it? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Credit to Lucid8 on this one. Chris Redfield has been through everything. He's lost teammates, friends, he's fought BOWs in basements, cities, caves, hell, even a dollhouse full of psychological trauma. And in Resident Evil 8, something broke. Again. Not mentally this time though, morally.
This is a bioweapon.
What the hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ. Someone's gotta pay.
It's not about saving people anymore, it's about burning down the system that allowed bioterror to thrive. The BSAA is no longer clean, they're using bioweapons. They've become what they swore to destroy. And now, if the story is coming full circle, then if we're going back to Raccoon City in any form, Chris might be coming back to end the very organisation he helped build. Not as a hero, but as a reckoning. And finally, the reunion we've all been waiting for. You can't go back to Raccoon City without the survivors who made it out. Rumours suggest that Leon will be playable at some point, but there's also a female voice in that trailer. Is this Claire?
We need to keep our voices down.
Babe, get out of there!
And could this be Carlos?
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
What kind of sci-fi bullshit is this?
What about Jill Valentine? Arguably hotter than ever thanks to Remake and Death Island. Could Requiem be setting up Resident Evil Avengers style moment just like we saw in the CGI films? Because if they're pulling everyone back for one last stand, you better believe fans would lose it. I just hope they don't forget about the one greatest character ever to survive the city.
Thanks, you saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
It's coming.
Yeah. It's the end.
But here's the thing. If all of this coming together, if Capcom are really bringing these characters back, rewriting old stories and digging up Raccoon City like it never burned, then we could say we have a bigger problem. Many would say not. because it isn't really about comebacks, it's about control. Capcom isn't continuing the story, they're rewriting it. And if you grew up with the original games, you remember how it felt to escape that mansion, survive the police station, or watch Raccoon City fall, then you might want to prepare yourself, because in the next video, I take a look at how Capcom has started erasing everything we knew about the original timeline, replacing it with something that's like a strange dream, familiar but different. And no, I don't care what you think. And if you want your opportunity to leave mean comments, then click the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you survivors next time.